Ever since the release of the Sinister Grace update, Behavior has seen to it that one of their most famous licensed killers, Michael Myers, was completely reworked. Instead of being his usual stealth to strength killer, he was turned into a dash killer closer to Oni playstyle than a Ghostface playstyle. Standing as one of the most polarizing reworks, there's still a lot that people don't know about the new Myers, hence why this video exists. I won't go too much into numbers since Behavior claims to be buffing him later this month, but I'll be reviewing his new kit, how his add-ons all got changed, and different combinations that now exist due to the rework. Without further ado, this is Michael Myers Explained. As far as his powers go, Myers' tiers have been changed into modes since they aren't as linear as they were previously. Before the rework, you had to stalk to go from tier 1 to tier 2 and then tier 3 before going back to tier 2 once tier 3 ends. Instead, you now start with the ability to switch between stalk mode and pursuer mode, with the quote-unquote tier 3 being evil incarnate mode. While in stalk mode, you are your slowest, completely undetectable, and are able to stalk survivors, building up the ability to unleash the evil incarnate. Note that you stalk fastest while standing still, meaning you'll want to hold angles against survivors without having to reposition as often. Also note that if your stalk meter is not full and you are above 50% stalk, not stalking for 20 seconds will cause your stalk meter to decay down to 50%, incentivizing you to maintain the higher end of the meter and not just leaving it 99 while in chase. Finally, there is no longer a stalk limit per survivor. If the same survivor runs into you all game, you can still stalk off of them regardless of how many times you have gained stalk from them. Pursuer mode is able to be switched into while stalk is not full, but immediately forced upon the player when stalk is fully built. Note that if your stalk is full, you cannot switch back to stalk mode until you've already used Evil Incarnate, and then that mode ends in any way. In Pursuer mode, you are your fastest, since Evil Incarnate does not increase your speed. You gain a decent sized terror radius, you are able to lunge farther, break pallets and walls faster, vault faster, and endure stuns faster than your other modes. This mode can be used for catching up to a survivor slipping out of your grasp, and to realign the map into a favorable status before you use your Evil Incarnate mode. You'll want to break walls in your way, let the survivors drop pallets on you since you'll endure and break much faster, and corner your prey before activating the real meat of his kit, Evil Incarnate mode. Evil Incarnate shares the same movement speed and vault speed as Pursuer mode, but you lose the breaking speed, stun recovery, and lunge range that Pursuer mode has. Your terror radius also gets up to almost double its size, and you unlock his dash attack, the Slaughtering Strike. Similar to Pig's Dash, you charge it up before dashing forward. However, the longer you charge it, the further you dash. If you don't wish to go as far of a distance, you can always pop the dash mid-charge in order to catch shorter and medium distances. However long your dash may be, the dash will always insta-down once you collide with any survivor in your path. Note that all survivors do not experience exposed, and your M1 will simply injure if this is used in mode. The final ability of Evil Incarnate is the Myers' famous Tombstone ability, now being part of base kit when used against a survivor who has reached the final hook stage. Regardless of whether they're injured or healthy, you'll be able to grab them and mori them once they come off that second hook, unless they're under the effects of endurance. Once the timer on Evil Incarnate ends, you are placed right back into Stalker mode to redo the whole cycle as many times as the match allows. To sum him all up, you stalk as much as you can, seeing as stalk doesn't decay if your meter is full, chase in Pursuer mode and break what you need to, then use your Evil Incarnate to take down as much as you can, and mori those unfortunate enough to get in range and off hook. With all the changes to his kit, his add-ons has also experienced changes and reworks to balance it all out. First and foremost, if you don't wish to unleash your inner jigsaw on the survivors, the Tuft of Hair add-on has been reworked to partially revert the changes to Myers, making Evil Incarnate inflict exposed to all survivors, increase your lunge range, but take away your Slaughtering Strike, bringing back the strutting behemoth that we had before Myers put his legs into high gear this chapter. The Judith's Tombstone add-on has been reworked since Mori is now base kit to make it so hooks performed during Evil Incarnate refresh the timer on the mode entirely. However, you cannot increase the timer past its base value of 40 seconds. Anything that would increase the timer will increase it up to that 40-second cap again and again. Scratched Mirror has remained completely unchanged other than now being an eerie add-on, this time keeping you in Stalker mode rather than Tier 1, but still granting the aura while you stalk survivors. The Tombstone Piece add-on now makes it so when you activate your Evil Incarnate mode, you have 20 seconds of undetectable. The Vanity Mirror now makes it so when Evil Incarnate mode ends, all survivors will have their aura revealed for 4 seconds. The Hairbow add-on was nerfed to only increase the duration of Evil Incarnate by 20 seconds instead of 30 seconds, while decreasing your stock rate by 20%. The Myers Memorial add-on now increases your hook and pickup speed by 40% while in Evil Incarnate mode. The Jewelry Box add-on now increases your stock rate by 30% while decreasing your stock range by 16 meters. The Mirror Shard add-on now increases the duration of Slaughtering Strike regardless of charge by 0.25 seconds while decreasing the charge speed by 25%. The Dead Rabbit add-on now decreases Pursuer mode's terror radius by 25% while increasing Evil Incarnate's terror radius by 25%. The Glass Fragment now increases your Slaughtering Strike's movement speed by 5% while decreasing the charge speed by 10%. The Hairbrush add-on causes you to gain 50% pallet break speed for the first break you perform after Evil Incarnate gets activated. The Jewelry add-on now increases stock rate by 10% when stalking a survivor that isn't moving. The Reflective Fragment now causes your Slaughtering Strikes to add 20 seconds to the Evil Incarnate timer while removing the insta-down from Slaughtering Strikes. Blonde Hair add-on now makes it so pools of blood and scratch marks last twice as long while in Stalker mode. The Boyfriend's Memo add-on makes it so that max stock range is increased by 8%. The Memorial Flowers now increase movement speed while in Stalker mode to be only slightly slower than Pursuer and Evil Incarnate. The Tacky Earrings add-on was buffed to increase movement speed by 20% while stalking instead of 10%. And my favorite of every add-on that got reworked, the Lock of Hair add-on. While simple in concept, it allows for some of the more creative combinations Myers has in his add-ons. The Lock of Hair allows you to end Evil Incarnate mode at any point while it's active while retaining half of however much stock you had left. This section will now go over some of the best combinations I could find with his add-ons as far as communicating with one another goes. First and foremost, the obvious combinations with Tuft of Hair come to mind, like Tuft of Hair with Tombstone, which allows you to have pre-rework Tier 3 that refreshes every time you hook a survivor. Or even Tuft of Hair with Myers Memorial, allowing you to hook everyone quicker and end the match sooner with Expose on every survivor if you have enough information to track them all. However, I usually lean into Myers' rework with all of his add-ons that play on Slaughtering Strikes and Evil Incarnate mode as a buildable tool. For example, the Lock of Hair add-on can be used for a variety of add-ons that deal with activating or deactivating Evil Incarnate mode. Specific examples are the Vanity Mirror add-on. It lets you end your power and gain aura on the survivors as you please without losing your entire stock meter every time you do. The Tombstone Piece add-on lets you become a jump scare killer, having your terror radius suppressed for 20 seconds before you end your power and go back to being undetectable while in Stalker mode until you pop your power again and remain undetectable for most of the match. The Hairbrush add-on allows you to break pallets at breakneck speeds once you pop Evil Incarnate, dash into the escaping survivor, then end your power to refresh the benefits from Hairbrush. Even without the Lock of Hair to keep refreshing your power, you can still combine add-ons like the Reflective Fragment and Judith's Tombstone, letting you maintain your power through a string of injures and hooks that add or even refresh Evil Incarnate timer. Tombstone and Myers Memorial lets you perform the pickup and hooks needed to maintain your power even faster without giving up the insta-down Slaughtering Strike has. Scratched Mirror Myers even got buffed with the existence of Memorial Flowers, letting you maintain your speed in a chase while staying completely hidden from all the survivors in your game. If you prefer a full minute of power, you could always combine Hairbow and Jewelry Box, needing to stalk closer to your victims but still having a reasonable stock rate to reap the benefits of the extra 20 seconds Hairbow provides. On the opposite end, we have the Boyfriend's Memo and Jewelry add-on, letting you keep your distance from your victims while having a leg up on the ones that remain undisturbed during your hunt. Note that there are endless combinations to come up with, but these are the ones I feel are the strongest in the way they work together, in the way they change Myers' playstyle with each one. All in all, the Myers rework is definitely a thorough one, seeing as there have been buffs in plenty categories as well as nerfs in some others. I hope that this video could clear up some parts of his kit that were less known, as well as give some of the Myers mains out there ideas on how to have fun with him, even after he got so wildly changed. Any questions, comments, build ideas, or anything else, leave them down in the comments below. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will be seeing you guys in the next video.